kind of nice to be tested a little bit. You told us Friday night you'd like to see how your team responded to adversity, and I think the guys thought that was a good thing. But in that adversity, Kendall and Vince were kind of, every time you needed something, they did it today. A nice example of a two-man, it wasn't a two-man game, but it was a two-man game.
Yeah, I mean, you got two guys that combined for 50 points, and one of them's not A.J. Hammond's.
Yeah.
But I think those guys posting so hard opens up things. You're getting more open looks, you're getting more drives because you have A.J. and Isaac in there, posting. But it was good to see both those guys step up and make a shot and really loosen some things up.
There were some situations there where IUPUI, I think, got within 7, 8, 9 points when it looked early on like you guys might separate yourself pretty really. Did you like how your team responded when it got pushed? That was the first time this year between exhibitions and the first game that your team had really been in tight situations where they needed to score.
Yeah, I thought we did some good things. It's demoralizing when you miss free throws, and we had that one stretch where we did not get any free throws. But sometimes when you get off to those big leads to start the game. Guys get comfortable, and the other team starts to play better and play harder. And I thought IUPUI did that, and got back into striking distance. I think we would have been in trouble if IUPUI would have just had someone who could make shots. They just need one more guy to be able to make some of those shots. So the bench was great. IUPUI's bench was great. They had energy, made some great plays, did some good things. Really kept them in the game in the first half. So Vetty and McCall were really good. And I thought Brennan did some good things for him. They're not playing another night. He did some really good things. So, we have to do a better job of just being consistent, taking care of the basketball. We have 2 turnovers. One just taking the ball out of bounds. The other one just kind of passing the ball back to our 4 to bring the ball up. We have 2 other turnovers on the same out of bounds play where we got a guy coming off wide open. I don't know if he's going to make it or not, but he made 6 of them tonight. He's coming off wide open, and we set 2 moving screens. And so just some little things we got to, kind of shore up and do a better job. With right there could be a difference in the game. You make your free throws and handle those situations.
Coach, are the free throws and the misses a byproduct of just this being early in the season, or is that something that you feel like you guys are going to really have to address moving forward?
Well, you address it with every team you have a coach or a playoff. It's a staple of the game. You got to make your free throws. So only 2 guys missed it. So you guys should address them and ask them. You got to step up and make them. Both guys are good free throw shooters. They struggled making them tonight. One made them last year in high school. One made them last year in college. But you got to step up there and make them. You just got to be consistent and do your routine.
You couldn't say, I guess, for sure exactly how the freshmen would respond to once these games started, but Vince obviously had a really great first weekend, and especially that stretch today where he scored like 12 or 20 points or something when it was still kind of close. Just what have you seen from him as far as, in that stretch he seemed like he was playing with a lot of confidence? And
Well, he's just a good, all-around player. He's very versatile. He lets the game come to him. He's not even though he took 16 shots, he's not a high-volume shooter. If he's open from 3, he'll take 3s. If he's not, then he moves the ball and drives the ball some. He's good in the open court. You can see he's kind of crafty, and he can play out of the post a little bit, in the low post and the high post, and knows how to maneuver. And anytime guys can pass, they normally got a pretty good feel when to go and when not to go. Sometimes when you deal with guys that can't pass, they have all the physical ability in the world, but then once they get in decision-making mode after they get past their man, that's where they struggle. Vince is a good decision-maker, and he knows what's going on out there. And his number one thing I've always felt like in recruiting was his ability to rebound. And as I started to watch him more, his passing, those 2 things are so important in basketball.
Matt, Kendall's going to make some shots for you, but shot selection has always been a big deal for
Right.
him. It seemed like tonight he did pretty well in that area.
Yeah.
Where is his growth coming in that area?
Well, I thought he took a bad one to start the Stanford game, and every shot after that was really good. I thought he took a bad one in our corner. He never got square. It was right after he had that turnover right in front of our bench, so he had a bad little sequence right there. So he's averaging 1 bad shot a game, so if we can get that down, that would be great. But no, anytime you deal with a guy that can shoot and score a little bit, I don't think that's a bad number. It's really half. But when he gets his feet underneath him, you're shocked when he misses.
IUPUI makes 6 of 8 threes in the first half. Was that good offense, not so good defense, combination thereof?
Well, I thought, we went into the game with Savetti as a shooter, and so it wasn't something that we, said, hey, let's play this guy as a driver that made us pay. We said he was a shooter and make him dribble the basketball, and he hit 3 of them against the zone. One was just a slow closeout. One time a guy took the basketball and then just backed up off of him, and then we went man. 2 of them were zone. And that third one, we just were slow. He had the basketball and kind of triple threaded one of our guys and just shot it and made it. So that's what happens when guys get going. They get a little bit of a rhythm. So I thought the first 2 were bad defense. I thought the third one was all right. He made a tough shot. I don't remember the fourth.
Matt, can you talk a little bit about where you're at with the zone defense in terms of how much you're going to end up playing with?
Right. Well, I thought against them, I thought they had a couple guys that could make open shots. I didn't know they had guys that could make enough plays against us. I think sometimes it's different. Sometimes you get against people that can really make plays and break you down and get you off the dribble, but they're not as good as perimeter shooters. So I think you'll see us zone more against people of that nature. We've tried zoning almost every time out of bounds. We'll see if we stick with that or don't stick with that. But I'd like to have a healthy diet of both. So we'll see. We'll watch film and kind of see. You always revert back as a coach to what you know. But when they made those shots in the first half, they made some perimeter shots. I thought it made sense just to stay with those guys and not give them a chance against that zone. And AJ can really neutralize some things in there. So he makes you make plays. Even though they made a couple, they still didn't make enough, obviously.
2 more, Nate and Logan.
They were obviously really trying to take away your big guys as far as from a scoring standpoint, but they were doing other things. You saw some nice passes from AJ and drawing fouls and things like that. Just what did you get out of your big guys tonight, even when their scoring was limited?
Well, I thought they did a good job. I thought Isaac posted hard. I think AJ was unselfish and moved the basketball, did some good things. He turned the ball over too much. He's got to do a better job of not turning the basketball over. But I thought they were solid. If they're going to double us, we're going to pass. And so I thought their effort was pretty good.
Coach John Hockey seems to be playing well and sort of being in a really good groove with the guys already.
Mm-hmm.
What can you say about how he's acclimated not only to the team but to the culture as well?
Well, I think John's been great. I think he's helped our culture. John just he wants to win and he plays hard and shows up every day to compete. So he's been great. It's tough to adjust the way he did, but he's been great. And besides that one turnover, plays 27 minutes and has 1 turnover. I think he'll live with that in terms of a point guard. He's not always been just a point guard. He's really, I don't know if he's ever been just a point guard. So for him to do this is a new experience for him to solely play that position. So we do different things with him. We allow him to crash and stuff. You see how good of an offensive rebounder he is. I think he was going to get that tip done tonight. The ball slipped out of his hands. So he's more athletic than you realize.